Hello and welcome to the second part in this sort of mini-series where I will be painting the locomotive into a slightly more realistic livery. So before we start painting it, we'll have to dismantle it and clean each part that's going to be painted with washing up liquid, because that will get rid of all the grease and stuff that might stop the paint sticking. So I'll just quickly dismantle it and then okay, so now I need to take the wheels off, so I'm just gonna try and slowly get them off with a screwdriver. There's one. If you just slowly twist the screwdriver and it'll slowly lever it up. Just try not to damage the contacts which are underneath. If you do that, you could just bend them back into shape because they're just thin brass, but and put them aside because they'll need to be painted as well. And that one, you can just take out the gear, can put in there, and then that one should come off as well. And don't know whether I should take the contacts out or not because they're quite fiddly to get back in. Be best, but I think what I might do is just mask them off with some bits of masking tape where there needs to be electrical conductivity. So that's everything disassembled. Now you'll just put that over there. The wheels, you'll need to take the coupling rods off. So just again try and just lever out this little. In fact, it might be easier. I'm just going to use some of these blunts. There we go. Put everything in the little tray or you're going to lose it. Let's see. I might just have to keep the axles on that one. I don't know if I'll be able to get them off. If you don't want to completely disassemble the engine this much, you can do it with a brush and just paint the wheels while they're still on, but I find it's quite difficult, and I've got a can of black spray paint from Poundland and I'm just gonna spray everything with that. Okay, that's everything disassembled now. What I'm going to do is mask off the areas that I don't want being painted, so where there needs to be electrical conductivity. So I will get some masking tape and do that now. Okay, so on here I'm just going to use a little bit of this Tamiya really fine masking tape, just where I don't want it. I'm just going to cover all of that because that'll be hidden behind the wheel anyway. And then the other side. Just going to get some scissors. Can't see anything downstairs, I won't bother. Just there we go. Just okay, that should be okay. Now I need to do just the inside where the motor connects onto it directly with these older models. The newer ones it's done with a wire, but again it shouldn't matter if some of the yellow shows through here because that's on the inside of the engine. And then just make sure it's all on. Okay, so that's that mark stuck. And now I'm going to try the wheels. And I'm actually going to try something different with these. I've seen some people use blue tack to mask off difficult areas. So that's what I'm going to try on this. I've got some larger masking tape here, just to do the backs of the wheels. Like that. Just get a little bit like that, and then you should just be able to put it round just like that. And it'll mask all on the wheel where it needs to pick up the electricity. Okay, so those are all done, so now it's just moving on to this, which I'm going to mask off the boiler bands and buffer beams to paint red before I spray paint it, because it'll be hard to paint red on top of black. Okay, so now I'm just going to paint it red with this Humbrol acrylic number 238, which I think is satin red. Make sure you got to stir the Humbrol acrylics quite a bit before you use it. They do tend to separate quite badly. Okay, now I'm just going to start. Now I could have just left it because the plastic is red, but it would just look like plastic. So it's just good to have them painted. And the plastic there's some variations in the colour because of fading, because it's been in the sun and things. So I like to just go back over it, making sure all the brush strokes are in the same direction, so that it doesn't look like it's just been painted with a paintbrush. I'm just going to leave that to dry and maybe do 2 or 3 more coats. Okay, so now I've got the wheels and the chassis with the masking on. I just need to do the boiler bands and the buffer beams on the body shell. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut with a craft knife some really thin strips of this Tamiya masking tape and put it on where the boiler bands are, so that then I spray it black and I can take it off and the boiler bands will still be red. And I'll probably do the buffer beams with a mix of blue tack and the larger masking tape. Okay, so now everything has been masked off, and I'm going to go and spray it outside with this Auto Extreme Black Gloss Spray Paint from Poundland. Okay, so that's all been painted, and I've taken the masking tape off and reassembled it now, and I think it looks really, really a lot better than it did. And so what I'm going to do now is, I've got these spare parts from other projects. I've got 4 buffers and a smoke box door, so I'm just going to glue them on now with some Yoo-hoo, again from Poundland, because that's the cheapest place to buy it. And then I'm just going to use a cocktail stick. That's on. I'll clean it up when it's dried a bit more. And so now I'm just going to glue the buffers on. So I've got 2 plastic buffers from Hornby, and I didn't have 4 of them, so I've got 2 similar brass ones from an old Triang loco, but they look quite similar, so you won't notice. A little bit of glue. That's probably a bit too much. I'll do the plastic one. There. Okay, so they're all glued on. Just check that it's all okay before it dries. Look alright to me, make sure the smoke box door. Yeah. So, I'm just going to leave that to dry. And then I've got 2 small decals that I'm going to put on the cab side. Okay, so that's all dry, and now I'm going to put on the cab side numbers, which are just 2 little numbers that I got off decal sheet of an old Airfix kit. And so just dip them in the warm water for a few seconds. These ones shouldn't take long because they're so small. And then I'm probably going to put it just there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get some tweezers to hold it. There. Just makes it easier. And then with a cocktail stick, slide it into place. There's one. Bit more water. And two. There we go. Just get it dry. I've just broken one of the buffers. So I think that's just about finished now. I think it looks quite good, a big transformation from what it was before. And that's finished for now, but I'll probably make another video where I'll weather it, because I like weathering all my rolling stock. So thank you for watching.